Hello everyone, Grandpa here. Today I am making a rhubarb pie for Grandma for Mother's Day. Rhubarb pie is one of her favorite pies and she hasn't had it since last summer, so I know she will like it. I am using a recipe from 1921, so this recipe is over 100 years old. I have already made my pie crust and will post a link to the pie crust video in the description and comments below. The ingredients for the filling are 3 cups of rhubarb cut into 1/2 inch pieces, 1 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour. The first thing we're going to do is make a pie crust. This is the pie crust I already made. So all we have to do now is fill the crust. We might actually use a little bit more than 3 cups of rhubarb. We like a lot of fruit and this is an old recipe. So I actually have 4 cups of rhubarb here, and we're going to be using a little bit less than a full cup of sugar because we don't like things too sweet. And the recipe calls for flour because as rhubarb cooks it gets watery and the flour helps to absorb that. So according to the recipe we're going to sprinkle 1 tablespoon of flour into the pie shell. It doesn't have to be exact since we are using a little bit more rhubarb. Now I'm putting my rhubarb in a little bit at a time. Let's see how much it takes. This is about 2 cups. This is a little bit more than 3 cups. This looks very good. Next, we're going to cover it with the sugar. I'm trying to cover it evenly, as you can see. A little bit at a time. I'm making this at my daughter's house, that's why things are a little bit different. This may seem like a lot of sugar, but rhubarb is very tart. That looks good. Now I'm going to add another tablespoon of flour to the top. The original recipe called for a top crust, but my mother-in-law always used to put a lattice on top. So I've made some strips of pie dough, and I'll be adding that to the top. The lattice is on now, so now I'm going to cut the edges. I've never made a lattice on the pie before, so let's see how it comes out. Now I'm going to put it in the oven and bake it for 35 to 40 minutes at 350 degrees. I put the pie on a drip pan. Now it's going in the oven. Halfway through I put a pie crust shield on top of the pie to keep the edges from burning. The pie just came out of the oven. I baked it for an hour, which is longer than the recipe said. It looks like some of the sugar and flour on top of the fruit did not dissolve. But overall, it looks very good. I think Grandma's going to enjoy it. So now I'm going to let this cool for a while. This is what the pie looks like after it's cooled for a few hours. How does it taste, Grandma?
I'll let you know in a minute, Grandpa. My favorite rhubarb. I haven't had this in a long time, since last year. This is delicious. Not too sweet at all, and it just has a little bit of tartness, and the flavor is just perfect. Of course, the pie crust is delicious.
When I make this again, I'm going to put more rhubarb in it. I think it definitely needs 4 cups because it cooked down, and the pie is kind of thin. It's almost like a cross between a tart and a pie.
But it's good. It tastes so good. Thank you, Grandpa, for making my favorite pie.
You're welcome, Ma.